Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB Today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. A former The Chase contestant revealed what happens to players who are knocked out, and it's pretty brutal. Every hopeful on The Chase dreams of grabbing a substantial prize pot, but as is often the case, not everyone strikes gold. Presented by Bradley Walsh since 2009, the ITV show pits 4 contenders against one of the nation's top quiz brains in an attempt to win cash prizes. Should they get to the final chase, the survivors need to fire off as many correct answers as possible within 2 minutes and hope the chaser can't catch up with their total. But what becomes of those who don't get that far? On a regular basis, at least one participant misses out on the final chase for being outsmarted by the chaser. In a cruel twist, those booted out have no choice but to watch from the sidelines, which could mean seeing the others pocketing big prize money. This inside scoop was shared by a previous contestant on Reddit when quizzed about whether those eliminated can stay to watch the rest of the competition unfold. A curious user asked, "When you've been caught in the head-to-head part, does the show allow you to stick around so you can see your fellow team performing the final chase?" The former contender revealed, "Yeah, you go sit with the crew and watch from the sidelines." Highlighting the sting of such an experience, a poster remarked, "TBH, if I was the only one knocked out, I'd be pretty upset if the other 3 won big." Article continues below. Yet another Reddit user reckoned that the presence of eliminated players in the studio might be necessary for something called a Lazarus team. The scenario describes a situation in which all 4 contestants are eliminated during the head-to-head round, but one is reinstated to face the chaser alone in the final chase, as teammates look on. Should the lone player come out victorious, each member of the team is awarded £1,000. A former contestant revealed that in such an event, producers could easily bring them back, noting, arguably they could just fetch us back from the green room if that were to happen, but no, I was sat over by the adjudicators sort of off to the right of where the chaser sits." The contestant, who previously faced chaser Sean Wallace, also disclosed, "Another bit of info, there's no audience. All the laughter etc. is added in post-production. They only have an audience for the celeb version. The music does play in the studio, though." I had always imagined what it would be like to stand under those bright ITV studio lights, Bradley Walsh cracking jokes at my expense, and the terrifying figure of a chaser glaring at me across the desk. For years, I'd shouted at my television, convinced I could do better than the contestants who flubbed the easy questions. So when I finally got the call to appear on The Chase, it felt like stepping into a dream, until reality hit me like a cold slap. The waiting room buzzed with nervous laughter as we contestants sized each other up. Some people were calm, others pacing. I told myself I'd make it through the cash builder easily, that the chaser would crumble before me. But television has a way of humbling you. When the cameras rolled, I managed £4,000 in the cash builder. Not bad, not great. I faced Anne Hegarty, the governess, her eyes sharp as daggers. The moment I sat opposite her, my brain seemed to dissolve. Questions I'd normally ace from my couch suddenly became foggy riddles. Before I knew it, my hopes of a glorious final were snuffed out, knocked out, gone, just like that. I thought the worst part would be the humiliation, the audience watching me fall flat. But what I didn't realize was what came after. Once you're eliminated, you don't just stroll off set, grab your bag, and head home. No, they make you do something far harsher. You have to sit in silence, still in the studio, while your teammates keep playing. You can't cheer, can't laugh, can't even whisper a word of encouragement. You're a ghost, watching from the sidelines as though you were never really there. The lights still blaze, the cameras still whirl, but for you, it's over. You're trapped in limbo, dressed up with nowhere to go, forced to watch your team try to do what you couldn't. I sat just beyond the cameras, hands folded on my lap, smiling politely whenever someone glanced my way. Inside, I was screaming. Every correct answer they gave twisted like a knife. Why couldn't I have had those? Every wrong one made me sink deeper, guilt gnawing at me for leaving them short-handed. It's a peculiar kind of punishment, harsher than any buzzer or wrong answer, the punishment of being powerless. You're still part of the game, yet completely erased from it. When the final round came, I watched my team fight valiantly, but Anne crushed them with ruthless efficiency. As Bradley wrapped up with his usual charm, cameras cutting, crew whistling, I was finally released from my invisible cage. Later, friends asked me what it was like. They expected funny stories about Bradley's jokes or secrets about how the show's filmed. Instead, I told them the truth. The harshest thing is not losing. It's sitting there, silently, with nothing left but your own thoughts. It's an experience that haunts you long after the lights go down.